Arnold Schwarzenegger is backstage at the 1969 Mr. Universe in Miami when an American judge approaches him, hears his thick German accent, and says, "You people have size, but no brain. How will you present yourself on stage?" 1 hour later, Arnold gives his answer without saying a word. Miami, Florida, September 1969. Saturday afternoon, 2:30 p.m. The backstage area of the Miami Beach Convention Center is a concrete maze of narrow corridors, fluorescent lighting, and the particular nervous energy that exists in the hours before a major bodybuilding competition. The Mr. Universe, one of the most prestigious titles in the sport. Competitors from 15 countries have traveled here. Europeans, Americans, South Africans, Australians. All of them preparing in their own ways. Some doing last-minute pump sets with light dumbbells. Some practicing posing transitions in front of makeshift mirrors. Some sitting alone, visualizing their routines, mentally rehearsing every flex, every turn, every moment they'll have under the stage lights. Arnold Schwarzenegger sits on a folding metal chair in a corner of the main backstage pump room, away from the clusters of competitors, away from the noise and movement. He's 22 years old, 235 pounds of muscle wrapped tight over his 6'2" frame. His skin is already bronzed for the stage, that deep artificial tan that looks absurd in normal light but transforms under spotlights. He's wearing only his posing trunks and a thin white towel draped over his shoulders. His hair is thick, dark, styled back with pomade. He looks focused, calm. But underneath that calm, there's tension. This is his first major American competition. His first time competing in the United States. Everything is different here. The scale of the venue, the size of the audience, the level of competition, the stakes. He's been in America for less than 2 months. Arrived in July with Joe Weider's sponsorship, moved into an apartment in Santa Monica, started training at Gold's Gym, started navigating a country where he barely speaks the language. His English is rudimentary at best. He understands more than he can speak, can follow conversations if people talk slowly. But forming his own sentences, finding the right words, expressing complex thoughts, that's still difficult. Very difficult. And he's acutely aware that in 1 hour, he'll be on stage in front of American judges, an American audience. And his ability to communicate, to present himself, to explain his physique through posing, will determine whether he's taken seriously or dismissed as another foreign bodybuilder who doesn't belong. The pump room is crowded. Maybe 25 competitors, all in various stages of preparation. Some are massive, clearly experienced, moving with the confidence of men who have done this before. Others are younger, smaller, nervous, first-time competitors who look overwhelmed by the environment. Arnold fits somewhere between. He has experience. He won Mr. Universe Amateur Division last year in London. But that was NABA, the British Federation. This is IFBB, the American Federation. Different judges, different standards, different politics. And he's about to find out exactly how different. A man enters the pump room. Late 40s, maybe 50. Average height, thick around the middle, wearing dress slacks and a short-sleeve button-up shirt. A judge's credential hanging from a lanyard around his neck. His name is printed on the credential, but Arnold can't read it from this distance. The man has the particular build of someone who used to be muscular but has let it go. Still broad shoulders, still thick arms, but covered now with the softness of years away from serious training. His face is weathered, tanned from the Florida sun, his hair thinning and combed over, his expression carrying that particular American confidence that comes from never having been anywhere he wasn't immediately comfortable. He walks slowly through the pump room, looking at competitors, assessing, judging before the actual judging begins. This is technically against protocol. Judges aren't supposed to interact with competitors before the competition. But protocols in 1969 bodybuilding are loose, flexible, often ignored. The man stops near a group of American competitors. Says something. They laugh. He moves on. Stops near a British competitor. Nods. Makes a comment about his conditioning. The competitor thanks him nervously. The judge moves on again. Then he sees Arnold, sitting alone in the corner. The judge's path changes. He walks directly toward Arnold. His eyes narrow slightly as he approaches. Arnold looks up, makes eye contact. The judge stops 3 feet away, looks down at Arnold. His expression is not neutral, not friendly, something else. Something that makes Arnold's stomach tighten even before any words are spoken. "You're one of the Europeans," the judge says. Not a question, a statement, an identification, a classification. Arnold nods. "Yes, sir. Austria." His English is careful, each word pronounced deliberately. The accent is thick, unmistakable. The judge's expression shifts. Something like amusement, something like contempt. "Austria. Yeah, I can hear it. That thick German sound. You people all sound the same." Arnold doesn't respond. Doesn't know what to say. The judge continues. "Another Austrian farm boy trying to be a bodybuilder." He says farm boy like an insult, like a diagnosis of rural stupidity. Arnold's jaw tightens. He keeps his face neutral, but something hot is rising in his chest. The judge doesn't notice or doesn't care. "You people have size, I'll give you that. You come over here with your big arms, your big chests. But no brain, no artistry. You just memorize poses like a trained monkey. Stand here, turn there, flex this. No understanding of presentation. No sense of flow. Americans understand artistry. We understand bodybuilding as performance. You people just lift heavy and hope." The words hang in the air. Arnold feels his face getting hot, feels the blood rushing to his cheeks. He wants to respond, wants to tell this man that he's wrong, that Arnold has spent years studying posing, years watching films of Steve Reeves, Reg Park, learning not just the poses but the transitions, the timing, the rhythm, that he understands presentation better than most competitors twice his age. But the words won't come. Not in English. Not fast enough. Not coherent enough. So he sits there, silent, taking it. The judge smiles, pleased with himself. He turns to look at the other competitors nearby, raises his voice slightly, making sure others can hear. The Austrian can't even speak proper English. How's he going to present himself on stage? Bodybuilding isn't just muscle. It's presentation. It's communication. How do you communicate when you can barely talk? A few competitors glance over. A couple of American bodybuilders nearby smirk. One laughs quietly. Arnold sees it, hears it, feels the humiliation spreading like heat across his skin. Another judge, younger, maybe mid-30s, walks past. Here's the comment. Stops. Looks at Arnold. Then looks at the older judge. "Come on, Frank. Leave the kid alone." The older judge, Frank, waves him off. "I'm just being honest. These Europeans come here thinking American titles are easy. They're not. This is the big leagues. If he can't handle a little honesty, he shouldn't be here." The younger judge shakes his head, walks away, doesn't push it, doesn't defend Arnold, just removes himself from the situation. Frank looks back at Arnold. "You understand what I'm saying? Or is your English too weak?" Arnold nods slowly. "I understand." His accent makes the words thick, almost painful. Frank grins. "Good. Then you understand you're in over your head. But hey, it's good experience for you. Learn what real bodybuilding looks like. Watch the Americans. Maybe you'll pick something up." He pats Arnold on the shoulder. A condescending pat, the kind you'd give a child. Then he walks away, back toward the judge's area. Gone. Arnold sits there, alone again. His hands are clenched into fists beneath the towel. His breathing is controlled, but his heart is pounding. Not from exertion, from rage, from shame, from the particular humiliation of being mocked for something you can't immediately change. His accent, his nationality, his foreignness. He's been in America for less than 2 months, And already he's learning what it feels like to be dismissed not for his physique, not for his effort, but for where he's from and how he sounds. Around the pump room, a few competitors are still watching him, whispering, probably repeating what Frank said, probably agreeing. The Austrian who can't speak English. The farm boy who memorizes poses like a trained monkey. Arnold wants to scream at them, wants to tell them they're wrong, but he can't. Because anything he says will come out in that thick accent that Frank just mocked. Any defense he offers will prove Frank's point. So he stays silent, pulls the towel tighter around his shoulders, stares at the floor. Franco Columbu appears from somewhere. Franco, his training partner, his closest friend, the one person in this entire building who understands what Arnold is feeling because Franco has felt it too. Franco is Italian. His English is worse than Arnold's. He's experienced the same dismissals, the same mockery. He sits down next to Arnold, speaks quietly in German, the language they use when they don't want to be understood. I heard what that judge said. Fuck him. Arnold doesn't look up. He's a judge. He scores me in 1 hour. What he thinks matters. Franco shakes his head. What he thinks doesn't matter. What you show on stage matters. Make him eat every word. Arnold finally looks up. How? If I go out there angry, I'll make mistakes. If I go out there trying to prove him wrong, I'll be in my head instead of in my body. Franco grins. That particular Italian grin that means he's about to say something both wise and slightly crazy. Then don't prove him wrong with anger. Prove him wrong with silence. Don't say a word. Just pose. Let your body speak. That judge said you memorize poses like a monkey. Show him what a monkey can do. 30 minutes pass. Arnold warms up. Light shoulder rotations. Hip stretches. Nothing heavy. Just getting blood flowing. Getting his mind centered. He's done this hundreds of times. Thousands of times. The routine is so ingrained, he doesn't have to think. His body knows. He practices a few transitions. Front lat spread into side chest. Side chest into back double bicep. The movements are smooth. Controlled. No wasted motion. This is what he does. This is what he's been doing since he was 15 years old. This is the language he speaks fluently. Not English. Not German. The language of muscle and movement and controlled power. Prejudging is called. Competitors begin lining up. Arnold takes his place. He's number 14. Middle of the pack. Neither first nor last. The line moves toward the stage entrance. Arnold can hear the crowd now. The audience on the other side of the curtain. Hundreds of people. Maybe 1,000. The sound is a low rumble. Conversations. Anticipation. Waiting to see who emerges. The competitors ahead of Arnold step through the curtain one by one. Each name called. Each man walking into the lights. Then it's Arnold's turn. Number 14, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Austria. He steps through the curtain. The lights hit him immediately. Bright. Hot. Blinding for the first 2 seconds until his eyes adjust. The stage is large. Much larger than the stages he's competed on in Europe. The audience is a dark mass beyond the lights. He can't see individual faces. Just shapes. Shadows. The judges' table is directly in front of the stage. 7 judges sitting in a row. Scorecards. Pens. Serious faces. Frank is second from the left. Arnold sees him. Recognizes him even from 15 feet away under stage lights. Frank is looking at Arnold with that same expression. Amusement. Dismissal. Already decided. Arnold walks to his assigned position. Center stage. The 7 competitors already on stage stand in a line. Arnold takes his place. Stands at attention. Relaxed pose. Shoulders back. Chest forward. Breathing controlled. The head judge calls the first mandatory pose. Front lat spread. Arnold moves. Not frantically. Not desperately. Just moves. Raises his arms. Flares his lats. The muscle spreads wide. Wider than anyone else on stage. His conditioning is visible even from the judge's table. The separation between muscle groups. The vascularity. The density. He holds the pose. 5 seconds. then relaxes, returns to attention. The head judge calls the next pose. Side chest. Arnold turns 90 degrees. Right side to the judges. Brings his right arm across his body. Flexes his chest. The muscle contracts into a thick mass. His chest separates into distinct striations visible under the lights. His shoulder caps. His tricep. Everything tight. Everything controlled. He holds it. The judge is right. He relaxes. Returns to attention. This continues. Pose after pose. Back double bicep. Abdominal and thigh. Most muscular. Each time Arnold moves, there's no hesitation. No uncertainty. Just execution. Pure, precise, confident execution. He's not thinking about Frank. Not thinking about the mockery. Not thinking about his accent or his foreignness or anything except the next pose. The next transition. The next moment. This is the language he speaks. This is where words don't matter. Where nationality doesn't matter. Where nothing matters except what the body can do. The audience is responding. He can hear it. Not loud cheering. Not yet. But murmurs. Whispers. The particular sound an audience makes when they see something they didn't expect. Something that surprises them. Someone who doesn't fit their assumptions. The Austrian farm boy who can't speak English is moving on stage like he was born there. Like the stage is his home. Like this is what he was designed to do. Comparisons are called. The head judge gestures. Numbers 8, 14, and 19 step forward. Arnold steps forward with two other competitors. An American and a South African. Both good. Both experienced. The three of them stand side by side. The judge calls poses. Front lat spread. All three hit it simultaneously. Arnold's lats are wider. The separation more pronounced. Side chest. All three turn. Arnold's chest is fuller. Thicker. The striations deeper. The judges lean forward. Writing more now. Discussing quietly among themselves. Frank is writing too. Arnold can see him from the corner of his eye. His expression has changed. Not amused anymore. Not dismissive. Something else. Concentration. Maybe surprise. Maybe the beginning of realization that his assumptions were wrong. The comparisons continue. Arnold against different combinations of competitors. Each time the poses are called. Each time Arnold executes with that same calm precision. Not showing off. Not overperforming. Just doing exactly what's required with the maximum efficiency and control. This is artistry. Not the artistry of words. Not the artistry of communication through language. The artistry of the body. Of movement. Of muscle responding to will. Of years of training compressed into 5-second poses that tell a complete story without a single word spoken. Prejudging ends. The competitors file off stage. Arnold walks through the curtain back into the backstage area. Franco is waiting. Grabs his shoulders. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. You destroyed them. Arnold just nods. Doesn't speak. Not because his English is weak. Because there's nothing to say. The poses said everything. He finds his corner. Sits down. Drinks water. Waits for the evening show. 4 hours later. Evening finals. The theater is packed now. Full capacity. The energy is different. Louder. More excited. This is the show. The full posing routines. Each competitor gets 90 seconds to perform their choreographed routine to music. This is where presentation matters. Where artistry matters. Where, according to Frank, the Europeans fail because they just memorize poses like trained monkeys. Arnold's name is called. He walks on stage. His music starts. Exodus by Ernest Gold. The theme from the film. Dramatic. Powerful. Perfect for Arnold's routine. He doesn't just hit poses. He flows. Each position melts into the next. Front double bicep becomes a turn, becomes a side tricep, becomes a transition into back lat spread. The routine is choreographed down to the second. Every movement intentional. Every transition smooth. He's practiced this routine 500 times. Maybe 1,000. In gyms. In hotel rooms. In front of mirrors. alone and with Franco watching. He knows it the way a pianist knows a concerto. Muscle memory. Beyond thought. Beyond language. The audience is silent. Not bored silent. Captivated silent. Watching something they didn't expect to see. This Austrian kid who can't speak English moving on stage like a professional performer. Like someone who has been doing this his entire life. Because he has. Since he was 15. Since he first saw Reg Park in a magazine and decided this was what he wanted to be. He's been preparing for this moment. Not this specific stage, but this moment. The moment where the body speaks and language doesn't matter. The routine ends. Arnold holds his final pose. Most muscular. Everything flexed. Every muscle fiber engaged. He holds it for 3 seconds. Then relaxes. Steps back. Bows slightly. Professional. Respectful. The audience erupts. Applause. Not polite applause. Real applause. Loud. Sustained. Arnold walks off stage. The sound follows him through the curtain. He can still hear it backstage. Franco is there. Grinning. They loved you. They fucking loved you. Arnold allows himself a small smile. Maybe. The competition continues. Other competitors perform. Some good. Some not. Finally, all routines are complete. The judges deliberate. 15 minutes. Then the competitors are called back on stage. All of them. Standing in a line. The head judge takes the microphone. Announces the results in reverse order. 5th place. 4th place. 3rd place. 2nd place. Then, in your 1969 IFBB Mr. Universe. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Austria. The crowd roars. Arnold steps forward. The trophy is presented. Cameras flash. He's still not speaking. Just standing there. Holding the trophy. The physical proof that Frank was wrong. That size without brain is a myth. That memorizing poses like a trained monkey can win the most prestigious bodybuilding title in America when those poses are executed with precision and artistry. The microphone is handed to Arnold. The crowd quiets. Waiting. This is the moment. The victory speech. Arnold looks out at the audience. Then down at the judge's table. Makes eye contact with Frank. Frank is watching him. His expression is unreadable. Then Arnold speaks. Slowly. Carefully. His thick Austrian accent filling the theater. Bodybuilding has no language. Only muscle speaks. He pauses. Thank you. That's it. 12 words. But 12 words that say everything. He hands the microphone back. Steps back into line. The crowd applauds again. Louder this time. Backstage afterward, Frank approaches. Arnold sees him coming. Tenses. Ready for another insult. Another dismissal. But Frank extends his hand. His expression is different now. Still not warm. But different. Respectful. Grudging respect. But respect. You prove me wrong, Frank says quietly. I judged you before I saw you perform. That was unprofessional. You earned that trophy. Fair. Arnold shakes his hand. Nods. Doesn't say anything else. Doesn't need to. Frank walks away. Franco appears. Puts an arm around Arnold's shoulders. What did he say? Arnold tells him. Franco laughs. Good. Fuck him. But also good that he admitted it. That took something. Arnold nods. Yes. It took something. They stand there. Arnold holding the trophy. The Mr. Universe. The title he came to America to win. The proof that talent is universal. That artistry exists in movement, not words. That prejudice is weak and performance is strong. Years later, Arnold would tell this story occasionally. Not often. Not to humiliate Frank. But to make a point to young bodybuilders who felt dismissed because of their accent, their nationality, their background. He'd say, someone once told me I was just a farm boy who memorized poses. I let my posing be the answer. Not my words. My performance. Because when you're dismissed for who you are, the only response that matters is what you do. Who dismissed you because of how you sound? Where you're from? What you look like before you even speak. Because the only response to prejudice is performance. Not argument. Not defense. Not explanation. Just undeniable, excellent, perfect performance that makes them question every assumption they brought into the room. That's the answer. That's always the answer.